In this video, we'll discuss whether or not caffeine is bad for you. Hi ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Zarowski and welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, it's a pleasure to have you here. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, and join our notification community so I can help you excel your health and your life. In this video, we're talking about, is caffeine bad for you? This is an important topic because we know that caffeine will boost cognitive performance, it'll boost physical performance. There's a lot of benefits of caffeine, but what we don't know in most cases is that it can actually have some negative side effects on people, and some people shouldn't be having caffeine at all. Let's go ahead, jump right into this, and let's talk about the three categories in which people fall into when it comes to caffeine sensitivity. So the first one here is the people who are hyposensitive. These are about 10% of the population. These are the people who can drink a caffeinated beverage late at night or even coffee late at night and go right to sleep without it affecting them. So that's your hyposensitive people. Now we have the average sensitive person, or the person who has a more normal sensitivity to coffee. Now this person can drink about 400 milligrams of coffee a day and it seems to not affect them in a negative manner at all. Basically what that equates to, if we're talking about coffee, is about 4 8-ounce cups of coffee per day. Now these same people, if they're drinking more than that, can start having some negative side effects, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But on the average person, the normal person who has a normal caffeine sensitivity, this is what they can get away with, and it actually has lots of benefits. So the next category of people are the hypersensitive people. And this is the category that we really need to discuss because these are the people who are being told that they can drink coffee and it's going to have all these benefits, but yet they drink it and they feel awful from it. And it's because it has a very powerful impact on the body. It impacts them in a much stronger way than it does the other individuals. And essentially the reason this is happening is just because they're not metabolizing it as fast and they're having different symptoms of anxiety, insomnia. So they can drink a coffee in the afternoon and then essentially find themselves not being able to sleep at night, restlessness, headaches, even migraine headaches, nervousness, and then palpitations, which is pretty serious. Now, I also find that anxiety and nervousness, along with this undue stress, kind of all comes together. And so they find themselves just in a place that they don't want to be in simply because they're stressed out and they're nervous. And so anyway, if you're hypersensitive to coffee, be aware of that. So your next question might be, why does this happen? Well, there's a couple reasons. So first, genetic variances. So there's a CYP1A2 genetic variance. Essentially, what that is a liver enzyme that just causes you to break caffeine down much slower than other individuals. And so as a result, it's going to impact you much more strongly. And then the other thing it's going to do is it's going to last for a much longer period in the body. There's also the ADOR2A genetic variance, where it just simply means that if you have this genetic variance, the research shows that you are hypersensitive to caffeine. And so when we look at this, the last thing I want to mention is that people who have a lot of adrenal stress are also going to be hypersensitive to caffeine, because essentially your nervous system is stressed out, but yet your brain is telling you that you have energy and you should keep going. So you're just pushing your body beyond its limit, so to speak. And so anyway, this hypersensitivity issue can be a result of having some adrenal strain as well. And so there's a couple things to take into consideration. People who are hypersensitive, it's estimated that you should drink 50 milligrams of caffeine or less. This is about a 4-ounce cup of coffee when we look at it and how it equates to coffee. And so the other thing that you can do is just cut it out of your lifestyle altogether. And then you can also drink decaf coffee. And basically when you look at decaf coffee, you just want to make sure that you're getting the Swiss water process so that harsh chemicals haven't been used to actually take the caffeine out of the coffee bean. And then the other thing that we use when it comes to people who are hypersensitive is our energy drink was actually designed for people who have that adrenal stress and actually designed for people who are hypersensitive. So what we have in there is a slow release caffeinated process, and basically you get the benefits from the caffeine, the cognitive performance, the physical performance, but it has a slow release process, so it doesn't impact you as greatly. And so it releases very slowly and it doesn't have the impact on the people who are very hypersensitive. And I'll put a link to that in the description below. And so anyway, when we look at caffeine, it's so important to know that, yes, it has a lot of benefits, but for some people, it's not great. Now, the other thing too, I want you to go and put in the comment section below, if you would, and put like what category you fall into, because I'm just interested in knowing numbers wise, the people who are hypersensitive, the people who are hypo, and the people who are just fall into that normal category. Put that in the comment section below. I'd greatly appreciate that. And then give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends so that they can know the truth about caffeine. And then subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. And then lastly, check out my other videos on how you can improve your health. And I'll see you in the next video.